This is my Shopify dashboard showing that I made over $1.1 million in the last 365 days. And yes, this is my live dashboard. This is not a screenshot, and you'll notice when you look at the end, it completely stopped, and it's because I'm starting from scratch. I'm going to talk about why I restarted later in this video, but first, let me tell you the story about how I took this business from zero to $1.1 million while I was still in high school. It was sophomore year. I was sitting in Spanish class and I decided that I wanted to make a video for TikTok. Now, during this time, the only thing that I wanted was attention. I was not looking at money whatsoever. I just thought it would be really cool to have some followers. So I took the thing that pretty much all of you have access to right now, my phone, and I made a TikTok. Collectively with my friends, I thought this video would go viral, and it did. So I took this video, you could call it a thirst trap if that's the right term. It was essentially me and my friends dancing to this one song and doing a little transition. Anyway, I posted that video and it got 30,000 likes. I don't even know how many views. I think it was around 500,000. And from that day forward, I posted on TikTok every single day, even till the current day right now, which means I've been posting for the last 4 years straight. Now, here's where I failed and where I believe most people fail. Over the next year, I had built up over 400,000 followers and did not make almost any money whatsoever. Now, if I had done what I'm going to talk about later in this video, I would have probably made minimum $100,000, if not more. So let's dive deep into what I was doing and why I failed at making any money. The videos I was posting on my old account were considered thirst traps, where I essentially just looked good to other people. I was providing no real value, which means the audience I was building didn't actually provide any money. If I were to sell a product or a course or anything of the sort, nobody would buy it because nobody in that demographic actually cared. I would say there was 3 main things I was doing wrong that kept me from making money. Number 1 is the fact that I wasn't providing value. Number 2 is the fact that I had no offer. There was no product or thing that I even tried to promote whatsoever. I got some brand deals here and there, but that was the only thing I ever saw. Now, the third thing, and probably the biggest mistake, the thing that killed me the most and a lot of people like me, is that I stopped adapting. TikTok and social media in general was changing into a platform where it became a lot more value-based, and people wanted to hear your voice. They don't just want to see people thirst trap. That's why you don't really see people like Charlie D'Amelio or any of these creators who literally just do thirst traps. It's not as valuable as it used to be. And the fact that I wasn't adapting is what essentially ruined it all. Now that you know the 3 main things I was doing wrong, you can use that, but also we need to continue with the story and how I literally got my career saved. I got banned on TikTok, meaning I lost it all. All the 400,000 followers were completely gone, and this was in my junior year of high school. Now, me getting banned in the moment, I saw it as a horrible thing, but it actually would benefit me like no other. So when I got banned, a lot of bad things were happening in my life simultaneously. My girlfriend broke up with me. I was having problems at my house where the power was going out and we had no money for food or bills or anything like that. To be honest, I was depressed, but this saved me. So all of these things in my life going wrong at once got me into self-improvement, which would then become looks maxing after a year. I'm going to explain that later in this video because it's a huge contributing factor as to why I made so much money. So here I am, a fresh start, 0 followers on a new account, and I started posting 10 videos a day. All of these videos were about self-improvement, how to look better doing this, how to feel better doing this, how to clear your mental, everything along these lines. But now we're moving fast. I had 400,000 followers, right? Well, within a month of me starting this account, I had over 100,000, which means I essentially 3x'd the output that I was making before. To get 400,000 followers on my last account, it took me a little bit longer than a year, which is 100,000 followers every 3 months. And on this account, I did it in 1. We're here. I'm still not making any money, but I am seeing a lot of traction on social media, getting millions of views. It was around 20 million views per week at the time. I'm forgetting about this whole thirst trapping, looking good thing, and I'm moving on to something where I'm actually giving people value, which is where I saw the first glimpse of money that I would ever see in my life, because considering the fact that I was still in high school, I was broke. 100,000 followers on this account quickly turned into 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. I completely skyrocketed, but I was still not making pretty much any money. So now, it's April 2023, and I decide that it's time to actually start making money. Little did I know it would be over $1 million, but that's besides the point. April 4th, 2023, I launched this brand, Clean Cut Cosmetics. This brand is no longer around. I started a new brand called SIMPLETICS, but we're gonna get into that later. So Clean Cut Cosmetics launched, and I started off by selling a salt spray. Why salt spray? Why was I selling such a random product? If you look back to the fact that I was talking about self-improvement all the time, something people really cared about and really seemed attracted to was my hair. Every teenage guy in the nation was obsessed over this trend called fluffy hair, or TikTok hair, or anything of that sort. I happened to make some videos talking about how I used my own homemade salt spray, and I showed people how to make it. In this process, I realized, wow, people really like this. It's actually improving their hair. I think I have a good product in my hands, but the thing is, I was telling people how to make it at home, which once again made me $0. So what I did instead is I made a better salt spray that you couldn't make at home, and I started selling it for $20 a piece. So I formulated the salt spray. Everything's looking good. I got the design. It's pretty ugly, but that's in hindsight. I'm here. April 4th, 2023. I get my first sale on Shopify, which would then go on to completely change my life. So I'm making videos on this TikTok account, just building this cult audience of guys who want to improve themselves. And you know one thing that every single teenage guy who wants to look better is going to do? They're gonna find a way to make their hair look better. So you got the problem, your hair looks bad, and I have the solution. Let's make it look good. Quickly, my brand started making 50 sales a day. Every single day, I would wake up and I would see over $1,000 in my Shopify. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have something. And the craziest part is I was making so many mistakes, so many things I did wrong, and I was still doing over $1,000 a day. So I know we're moving quick, but I need to take another pause and tell you the things that I was doing wrong at this time so you guys don't make the same mistake if you want to become an entrepreneur. Number one, flawed packaging. I don't even think this looked good. Number two, poor customer service. As a teenager, I didn't think about the fact that people would have to be calling in, sending emails, complaining about the product not getting there on time, whatever the case may be. If there's anything I learned, it's the fact that you have to take care of people, even one person. I may have been acquiring more than 50 people per day. One bad review makes a massive impact, and not only that, if somebody tells their friends something bad, it spreads quickly. The third thing that I was doing wrong while getting these 50 sales a day is I only sold one product. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad to sell only one product, but the thing is I could have so easily been selling multiple. So now that you know what not to do, let's skip to the part where I was making a lot of money. In December of 2023, my business did $217,000 in revenue. You know what's crazy? I could have done multiple times that. The difference is now I know how. Just to sum it up, this brand I cut off because I wanted a fresh start. Most of all the issues came from the people that I was working with on this brand. So now I'm alone and I can actually grow. I want to do it alongside you guys. So now I'm going to give you the blueprint on how I'm going to take this brand from 0 to 100 like I did last time. It all starts with the product. So step number one is making a good product. Whether you're selling something digital or something physical like me, if the product is good, it will eventually sell itself. People are going to want to return. Why do I know this is a good product? Well, because it's a proven concept. For me, I know that people like my hair, and I know that people trust me to help them make their hair look better. For you, if you don't have a following, what you could do is trend hack. Find products and trends that you think people will like. Base it on the numbers. If you look at some place like TikTok Shop and you see an item sold over 30,000 times in the last 2 months, you know that's a good product. To make a good product, it needs to have proven results, proof of concept, meaning that you know people will like it. It needs to have good packaging. It needs to serve a purpose, aka it needs to solve a problem. Now that you have a good product, step number two is very simple. It's telling people about it. Telling people about it is the hard part. This is where my following comes into play, but for you, it would have to be something like running ads, telling people locally, getting influencers to promote your products. If you can make a good product and tell people about it and just ensure that those two things don't stop occurring, you will have a successful business. Step number two of the blueprint is manufacturing, aka producing the product. If you can make a product go viral and make sure it's a good product, your next step is going to be actually getting it out. To do that, you can either make it yourself or hire people to make it. This is the boring part. This is where you spend time emailing people, hopping on business calls, and doing those boring meetings, but it's absolutely necessary for your success. Now you have two of the three pillars of the blueprint. You have making a good product and telling people about it, and you have the fact of actually getting it out there. The third pillar of this blueprint that made me $1 million is the hardest part, yet the most simple. The extremely hard but simple answer is just not to stop improving. If you continuously make good products and continuously ensure that people are hearing about it, you are going to make a lot of money. Now here's my strategy of how I'm going to take this brand and make it massive. Starting off with SIMPLETICS salt spray. It's a 5-ingredient natural salt spray, which means I already know it's a good product. Shipped out 300 orders in a single day of launching. There's going to be a lot more to come. Already in production of making more natural cosmetics products. I'm emailing and calling people every single day to get things manufactured. I want to do a cologne. I want to do deodorant. I want to do a face wash. I want to do all of those things. This is the part that takes time. Because I'm reaching out to all these people, I have to wait for responses. I have to wait to get the products in the mail. I'm ensuring not to release any products that I would not use myself that I don't like. So using the blueprint, that's number one, is getting the good products. Step number two for ensuring that my brand does really well is just making people know about it. Here's how I'm going to do that. I have my personal brand where I'm going to talk about it on almost every single video because I support it so much. Secondly, because of the platform I've built, I'm reaching out to other people who are also going to tell people. I've already sent this product to probably 20 or 30 people. There's a lot more to come. When you get all of these people making videos, it rolls into a snowball effect, which then makes a ton of money. Then we have ads. So by taking the content that I'm making myself and the content that I'm paying other people to make, I can then run ads. To make it really simple, when you run ads, it is literally an infinite money glitch. Because let's say you put $20 in and you get $40 out. You just keep doing that. The money just stacks. It multiplies. And the question is, how do you make a good ad? Well, you just have to make good content and send it to the right people. It all goes in a loop. Make a good product, make people hear about it. In this instance, the good product is the video. And to make people hear about it, you just have to put money in. If the product, aka the content, is good enough, people are going to buy it. So now that you guys know the strategy of my new brand, SIMPLETICS, it's time to act. What are you going to do to turn this video into something that can actually start moving your life forward and making you money? That's a question for you to answer. But for me, I'm going to document the entire process of me building this brand from zero in order to help you guys out. So stay tuned.